The following podcast contains real reviews and the ridiculous reactions of two would-be oracles of the internet. The opinions expressed and presented are mere musings, so please humor their hijinks with a laugh and not by taking anything they say seriously. Seriously.
And welcome to ReviewParty.com. I'm Brent.
I am Matt.
And we are about to take you on a internet review journey. That's right. This is ReviewParty.com. And on here we talk about internet reviews. We talk about funny things that we've said, hopefully. And we talk about Kohl's.com.
Yeah.
In that
it's
order.
One or the other.
We give reviews from places like Google, Yelp, Amazon, all the big hitters, and some of the not so big hitters.
Sometimes.
And we read them to you. And, you know, not all of them have the viral sensibilities of a three-wolf moon, but we find the funnies in the bunnies nonetheless. Before
we get started, I feel... I can't confirm that I need to apologize, but I think I need to apologize. Because even last week as we were recording, you remember I was like, I feel like Different Drummer is a reviewer redux. I just can't place it perfectly. But as I was saying that, I was thinking like, I'm pretty sure this is the Mandy Moore guy. The Walk to Remember, who is like, Mandy Moore's perfect face is forever encapsulated in this film. She will never grow older.
Creeped out by that.
I am 90% sure that's him, but as we know, he's a IMDb prolific reviewer, so I haven't been able to find that Walk to Remember review to confirm. But for longtime listeners out there, if you're like, come on, man, your brain can't be mush that much. It's not totally there. I'm pretty sure I know who Different Drummer is, but we'll circle back on that.
I think
soon.
I just Googled different drummer because I always thought it's so stupid how they did their name. This has to be them.
It's gotta be them.
There's a bunch of reviews for a bunch of stupid shit.
Just garbage. They are watching things to review them.
Oh, they liked the Watchmen HBO series.
Okay. Well, I guess respect there. I assume it was a good series. I heard good things.
Yeah, people were pretty excited.
Anyway, I got some reviews here. Believe it or not.
I believe.
I got a couple of contrasting reviews from Walmart.com. One of them is actually Walmart.ca, a little special spice there.
Holy shit.
For Twizzlers black licorice. I like black licorice. I know very few people do.
I've tried. I don't know what it is. I could never put my finger on it because as soon as it hits my mouth, although I think I feel like a little like rat in a little test in a science facility. Like they just put something evil in my mouth and I have to get it out.
Well, that's great. Here's a review from Natalie64572. This is Walmart.ca. They write, incentivized review. A pleasure from childhood found again. Wow! The taste is like the black pipes I was eating when I was a child.
Oh.
I guess that must be just like a brand name, but that sounds very weird to say. It's like the black pipes. They continue. The taste is satisfying, just a bit too sugary for me, but it was probably the case of similar licorice products I was eating long time ago. The texture is perfect, elastic enough, resistant enough to play with. I don't know how to explain it, but you want to play with it. What can I say? Eating it is fun. It is good enough for me having problems stopping eating the whole bag. I will definitely buy again and share with those I love. Eating it while drinking a root beer? It's heaven for the taste buds. 4 stars.
Cool it, lady.
She going wild.
Yeah, cool them a little bit. She's getting lost in the licorice sauce, so to speak.
She is. I'm a black licorice root beer enjoyer. There's a Venn diagram of enjoyers of both. I am in there, but eating black licorice whilst drinking a root beer.
He's using it like a little straw.
Oh yeah, you nip off the ends. Well, that's fun and novel.
No one tell her that. No one tell her about that.
I don't know. I think that's going too far for me. Even like some root beers, Dad's root beer, I feel like, for instance, has a bit too much of that licorice flavor just on its own.
Sure.
So if I'm double fisting a sack of Twizzlers and a root beer, I don't know. That they say you're not supposed to have too much black licorice because it can be, particularly if you're taking heart medicine, there's some compounds in it that
right, it's poison. As I alluded
in high
to
quantity,
earlier.
it's not good.
It's poison. It will kill you.
Yeah.
That's why it tastes so foul.
But in tiny bits,
it's like licking a poison dart frog. You'd be like,
well, you know,
could
be
kidding,
fun.
I'm kidding. I wish I liked it. It seems like it's such a joy, such a cool thing to like.
Yeah, you get the little Scotty dogs and you tear their heads off. Yeah, fantastic.
I don't know, man. And the black pipe, I think she was just chewing on the black pipes under her house as a child. And
yeah.
the playing with it. There's candy that's sort of fun to have and to hold. Mike and Ike's. Those are cute little fellas.
The Dip'ems.
Oh, dippy doodas.
Yeah, whatever those are. You lick and you dip.
Yeah, those are good. Everyone loves like crushing a Skittle.
Oh yeah,
figuratively and literally.
The pull apart Twizzlers, sure, but regular old waxy Twizzlers, I don't know if I'm playing with that sucker.
See, as an adult, I don't even string my string cheese anymore. I'm fucking over it.
Nosh into that.
Yeah, I just eat it like a candy bar.
Yeah, and the pull-apart Twizzlers, I'm not pulling them apart every single time. Sometimes, we were just talking before we hit record about sandwich cross-sections. Sometimes I want to have that cross-section of the pull-apart Twizzler, just like braided cable that my teeth bit through. That's fun.
The braided cable bite is a unique and wonderful. It's like Ratatouille candy. And I don't mean the movie. I mean the food from the movie. The food made for that movie.
Here's a contrasting review. This is just Walmart.com user A. They write, ordered brown licorice but got sent black. Black licorice is disgusting. I searched brown and selected brown. The order arrived and it was black. Nowhere on the packaging does it say black licorice, and both are dark, so we had to open the bag to discover it was the wrong thing. And now we have an entire bag of disgusting licorice that no one will eat. What a waste! 1 star. I don't know about you. The only brown licorice I know of is chocolate flavored.
I was going to say brown licorice sounds like something I have to look up on Urban Dictionary.
Ugh. Yeah, you let me know if you get any hits there, but to my knowledge, brown licorice is chocolate, and I feel like that's got to be more disgusting than black licorice.
Oh, it's licorice texture chocolate. You're telling me?
I don't know. Like, I searched brown licorice. I found that Hershey's has a co-op with Twizzler, and it's like Hershey's chocolate flavored Twizzlers.
Yeah, it is chocolate flavored, like Twizzlers.
And
no, that's a little fucked up.
Yeah, that's pretty foul, if you ask me. I just
They do have this one, Gustav's Dutch Licorice Beehive.
Okay.
They're little brown licorice sort of beehive shaped bites. Maybe it's just the more small batch artisanalness of the bag that makes it less scary, but I could get behind that.
That looks nice.
But
if
the
it's
Twizzler
honey,
one does. yeah, there's some honey there. Maybe it's non-GMO. There's something natural about it.
But Hershey's.
The Twizzler ones look terrifying.
Maybe I should give them a chance, but I don't know if I want to be saddled with a big old sack of those suckers.
Because the maximum chew you want for chocolate is like a Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
And that's like a caramel, but chocolate.
Yeah, it's like a chocolate taffy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want to. What is the texture of Twizzler? It's like rubber candy.
It's not the best licorice texture. You get red vines. You get that. I think that's a better texture if they're fresh red vines.
I've been Instacarting lately, and the grocery store I Instacart at always has the fucking canister of red vines on sale for like $9.99. And every time I see it, I'm like, I'm gonna get those sometime. And every time I'm grocery shopping, I'm like, no, that's not in the budget this time, not even close. But that's a little war going on in my body right now. But enough about this fudge brown.
Yeah, let's run away.
Let's get the heck out of here. I'll start with some leftovers from last week. If you're a real one who listened last week, you'll remember I brought reviews for things I think Matt liked.
Mm-hmm.
I failed to bring any reviews making fun of, critiquing things he liked. It was just all one of I guess Matt just, straight shooter, likes the good stuff. But I got a pair of reviews from rateyourmusic.com. Without knowing the band, do you want the Neggy review or the Posy review first?
Let's go Posy so we can just really relish in the Neggy.
Yeah, that's probably the way. This is a rateyourmusic.com review for The Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. Thinking of just albums, I know bands you like. I know there's another big fella, a big name you like, but as far as specific albums, I know you like this one in particular.
It's seminal. Yeah.
Yeah. It came right at the end of sort of that particular genre of punk and emos. It was like the final hurrah of it. I feel like after that it became so played, but it gets kind of a weird rap either way because of it. But yeah, it's an important listen, I think, if you like rock music. Anyway, we'll get into all that. Zephyr 2006, same year the album came out, has a lot to say. This album is arguably MCR's best. It feels like a perfect culmination of the themes explored in Bullets and Three Cheers, being a successful execution, pun intended, of the concept album they half-heartedly attempted with their previous album. It has a good mix of energetic hardcore punk cuts like Dead or Famous Last Words, and slower ballads like Cancer and Disenchanted. It doesn't only alternate, however, it mixes. Songs like Welcome to the Black Parade and Mama have a good mix of the slower, more melodic, and the harsh yelling of the aforementioned tracks, and it really helps the album flow together nicely instead of giving you whiplash with every song change. The only complaint I have with the album is song placement. I wish there were songs put in any order that helped make the story together more easily in a straight listen. Teenagers is a great track, but it feels so out of place smack dab in the middle of the album and doesn't seem to have any relevance to the plot of the album's story, more like a single that was put on for album sales. That aside, however, this is one of my favorite albums and easily my top pick from MCR. The album concept is so strong and at times visceral that it's not a wonder that they had trouble following it up 4.5 stars.
Yeah, you said a lot, and a lot I agree with. Particularly, teenagers. It's just jarring.
It's dog. That song. We talked about how well this one holds up. That one doesn't. That one didn't at the time. I hated it when it was on the radio. I hated it on the album. I think that song was responsible for me not liking the album for years before I revisited it.
I have to get a minute into the song before I'm like, okay, yeah, okay. It's not one I'm going to seek out. And Gerard Way himself, like there's some Twitter threads from way back when, 2011. He was doing a re-listen of the album, and he's like, okay, yep, songs that should have been on that were released on the B-sides. Kill Your Friends, which is, go fans, go find Kill Your Friends. It's fantastic and fits much better with the tone of the album. So just swap those suckers out. Let's go back in time, swap those suckers out, and we're all good.
I don't know if I've heard that one. Sounds very Misfits.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. That or what's the Heaven Help Us? Oh my goodness. Those two from the B-sides. Big recommend.
I'd be messing with the B-sides, but what were you saying?
That is just... I agree with the not necessarily linear nature of the story being a slight tripping point, but you got to kind of balance. Do you want the narrative to flow perfectly, or do you want song and do you want the listening experience to supersede the narrative experience?
It's hard to say. And, another, album band that Time sort of disliked and then came back around on was Green Day. And they have that concept album, American Idiot. And I think there's 2 songs on there that were just, have the, we put it on for singles and it's not really part of the story thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they pulled it off. The story flowed and there was those stupid tracks in there. But maybe one was Wake Me Up When September Ends, which that's about a dead dad, so you can't really talk shit on it.
You're like, okay, you get a pass for that.
It's a good song.
It is.
But enough of the good. Let's get to the bad.
Give me the hate.
We got an album. They used a different album art for this review, so it seems like a different album, but it's the same. Black Parade, My Chemical Romance, reviewed by Dear Monic. Like demonic, but a deer.
Buddy.
Got demon antlers. It tries to have a non-conforming, rebellious tone, while also having the instrumentation and delivery of a 2000s Nickelodeon sitcom intro. Just not for me. I was playing it in a car, and my friend, who is usually into similar music, just burst out laughing 20 seconds into Teenagers 2 Stars.
I mean, yeah, we know Teenagers is, oddly enough, the black sheep on the Black Parade. It is not really, it's, what did I see someone say it? It's like, almost 1920s, piano-y music. Just the dun, 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 or I don't know.
Right. It has that ironic sort of swing.
The cadence, the swing to it is not, it's not them very much, and it's not modern music super much, except sometimes in country, which, remember we were talking about The Offspring a few weeks ago, talking about Get a Job.
Yeah, how Get a Job, they sort of go into the folksy, weird, ironic space that doesn't really pay off. And I think maybe Teenagers the same sort of syndrome.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you do you. Mama is a strange song as well. That's like a polka-ish song. At least in the beginning.
And I think making a couple songs on the album just a wildly sort of, what if this band did this genre? That's a tradition as old as rock music, right? Beatles did whole albums where they did that.
That is true.
But it's a tight wire act to pull off, I think, for sure.
Yeah. I don't know that I would say anything else is necessarily Nickelodeon-ish.
I kind of like it, though.
Yeah. It's exciting when there's sound effects, when you've got the heart monitor beeping in the beginning of the album. That's in the oxygen machine. I don't know what the heck. I'm not a doctor. But the breathing apparatus, you're like, ooh, environmental.
Yeah, it makes sense that Gerard Way just started making comic books after this. Bro has a flair for the dramatic, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what to say. Teenagers has a fun music video.
Nothing ever beats their first big video from that their sophomore debut album. Is it I'm Not Okay? Is that the song?
I'm Not Okay was the big one, yeah.
Yeah. And actually Helena's pretty cool too, but
yeah. They've got some alright ones there.
Yeah, I'm Not Okay. Like the whole time they're like playing music in a really cool space. You're like, wow, they're in some sort of cool otherworldly Lego set playing this music while the silly high school joke story plays. And at the end of the video, they walk out and it's just their garage the whole time.
That's revolutionary.
They painted their sound material to be a different color and their space look cool. What do you know? We gotta take a damn break here.
Let's take a break.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to our lovely little podcast. If you'd like to go above and beyond in supporting our show, or have the most fabulous conversation starter since sliced bread, go to reviewparty.com. Click on shop and explore some fabulous t-shirt designs.
Where's your favorite place to wear a t-shirt?
On my body.
Mine is at the store.
That is a good place to wear a t-shirt. Reviewparty.com. Click shop.
Why stop there?
Don't stop now.
Don't stop me now, because I'm buying a t-shirt. I'm buying a shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second half of the episode, and welcome to steaming pile of reviews. What's that, you ask? It's where we go to Steam and we find a bunch of reviews for a video game on Steam. And usually, since it's gamers writing these reviews and chronically online individuals such as ourselves, there's a slight slant to sarcasm and humor, more so than you might find on Amazon or Kohl's.com.
The gamers are funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gamers are funny. That's what they don't tell you about those stinky kids in the lunchroom. They're kind of funny.
When they're not just like
Right.
laughing over their pudding pack.
Yeah, when they get over their bullshit, gamers can be kind of funny.
So today I picked a theme for my reviews based on a loose inspiration of something last week. And then your review actually slotted in with the theme that I already had. So I've got some reviews for the game in quotes, Black Screen. Description: this game is nothing more than a black image covering the entire screen without the presence of any incentives. My theme being things black licorice, black screen, black parade, apparently. Anyway, yeah, it's literally it's a black screen is the game, and people have downloaded it or whatever they do and played it.
The fact that the description says it's free of incentives makes me feel that takes it from funny joke to like art installment.
Yeah, at some point it sounds like there may have been achievements, but those were removed if some of these reviews are to be believed. Particularly because no one knew how to get them. Anyway, let's get to some of these reviews. We'll start out with Max with 2 X's. Max writes, This game always has such great jump scare mechanic. When I turn it on, I see a hyper-realistic projection of myself. Recommended.
As scary as it gets.
Yeah, that's the classic 3DS or Switch jump scare.
Yeah, the loading screen turns on and goes to black, and you just see your double-chinned face looking down at it.
So that's a very self-aware review there. Annoying Crow, whose profile picture it looks like a claymation crow, writes in all caps, "You were used to black screen a whole bunch with pirated copy of Windows 10, caw caw. Those were the golden days, caw caw. But they've got their little, they've got their little womb tattoo watermark at the bottom saying, please buy, caw caw. Recommended."
Who didn't have a computer that they had to fix it, have to reinstall Windows, but they didn't bother to look at the bottom for the license number?
It's
me.
The watermark is so inobtrusive. I can live with that.
Who needs a picture on their desktop? All I need is me and my icons.
Yeah, black screen is the way to go.
Yeah, people are paying premium for it these days. We were ahead of the people here.
Z3Mniac writes, no achievements, pay to win mechanics, and no trading cards. This game got boring after 5 minutes of playing. Recommended. Notable, though, they have 285 hours on record.
Leave it on pros. That's how many hours on Steam I have for Counter-Strike Go. I played that game for 5 minutes, but when I turned it off, it didn't turn off all the way, so it was running in the background of my computer for like a week.
Jeez.
So now I forever have 250 hours in this game on Steam that I've never played.
It's not just like the menu music was really great and you were jamming to it.
No, you know me. I would have YouTubed that bad boy.
Yeah, good point. Iripsu writes, 9 out of 10. It is definitely a black screen. That much is certain. My main issue is that the graphics doesn't support 2560 by 1440 resolution, but that's probably for the better since the graphics are extremely intensive. Some of the best I've ever seen in gaming. Recommended.
No, new gen gamers be like, this says you can't run this at 120 frames per second. My eyes are starting to hurt. Shut up. Love the 30 frames.
Yeah, love what you get. Love the experience.
My friend said he can't play Bloodborne because it's 30 frames per second and it hurts his eyes. I want to slap him in the face. Get on the peak, boy. Your eyes will adjust.
Yeah, you can adapt to most things, turns out. IQ simply writes, immersive as hell, recommended. I imagine it is. L.A. Snow writes, close your eyes for full screen, recommended.
Whoa.
This one, maybe you can speak to this more than I can. Master Jim writes, this is the perfect game if you want to get your Discord overlay into OBS while streaming another game from console. If anyone has a better idea how to accomplish that, please let me know. But for now, this is my best option, recommended.
I love it. That's a little game. That's a little streamer ingenuity right there.
That's not like overly engineered. Is that a feasible?
I'm not really sure with console streaming stuff, but I think it sounds. There's worse ways to do it. I'm sure.
Okay.
You got to set up some fucked up shit for streaming sometimes. I need to just make a virtual speaker that replayed the audio from my desktop to set up as a virtual line for my second stream when I was TikTok streaming.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was an output of what my OBS was streaming because I wanted to stream copyright music, which is, I can tell Twitch not to play that audio track in the VOD. But to do it on TikTok, I had to stream a fake speaker of that copyrightless VOD audio stream to TikTok.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm sure I took years off my computer's life doing that shit. So just playing a black screen game probably is pretty sensible for something like that.
Potato 2.0 writes, played for 9 hours, found 0 bugs, recommended. They did indeed have 9 hours at review time, so good on them.
That, for some reason, lightning bolted a core memory back, and maybe not a core memory, a fond memory back in my head. The Windows 98 screensaver preview suite, selector suite.
Oh,
the
yes.
flying toasters, the infinite tubes.
Yeah, the pipes, man.
And I feel like there's ones with just bugs walking across your screen.
Yes. That does sound familiar.
Yeah, where the screensaver would be a screenshot of whatever you're looking at, but like more and more bugs would start to walk across the screen.
Man, they did some stuff back in the day.
They did some stuff. I remember the tube and like the ones that would just like make random 3D art on your screen. Those were always like randomly generated, which blew my mind. They're like different every time.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. There was the maze one too, like the brick wall, almost like Doom-esque.
Oh, yep.
Sick stuff.
The classic like cube that bounces around the screen that you hope perfectly nooks into the corner.
Go. I've got a couple more. I've got a rant here though. I'm gonna read it. This touches on what you said before I started reading any of these reviews. This is Obey the Fist ranting. Black screen is not a game. Games contain meaningful game-like interaction and game loops, which are absent in this, quote, art experience. Instead of being a game, black screen is a software application that presents a poorly made art exhibition. A black screen. The main reason indie devs have such a bad name is because they produce a lot of garbage. This is worse than all of that. The developer of this crap thinks they're so incredibly clever by producing a non-game application that displays a black screen. How so utterly, disgustingly pretentious. This is not clever. It's not unique. There's several art games with a similar premise on Steam, all as bad as this. But this is absolutely harmful. The developer is so full of themselves, patting themselves on the back so hard because they're so clever, knowingly dumping non-game garbage on Steam, they never considered the harm this does. This crap makes it harder for real developers, genuine, honest people who don't have their head shoved up their rear end to find an audience for their games. It gives the entire indie gaming movement a bad name. And it harms gamers who have to sort through all this non-game crap to find those genuinely made games from real developers. This is nothing short of a disgusting, appalling waste of everyone's time, done to harm gamers and to pollute and worsen Steam on purpose. We get this non-game shovelware on Steam whenever your usual Starbucks barista / McDonald's fry cook art school dropout finally gets a restraining order from the local art galleries, so turns to Steam Direct to try to get their art published somewhere so they can finally dream of moving out of their parents' basement. It's true that games can be art. Art is where the pinnacles of craftsmanship and quality meet vision and narrative to create an experience far greater than the sum of the parts. This isn't a game at all, and the craftsmanship and narrative are terrible. This isn't making art better, it's just making gaming worse. For those unfamiliar with what actually makes something a game loop describes the interaction and feedback a gamer has when playing a game. Tetris, for example, has a game loop where a random block appears. The gamer interacts with the block to position it. And then the game decides if that finishes a row or not, increases the player's score if any rows were completed, then gives the gamer another block to position. Counter-Strike has a game loop where a player seeks another player, tests their skill against their player by shooting them or being shot. The computer rewards the player if they win, and then the player survives. They repeat that loop. There's no loop here. No true interactive feedback. It simply is not a game. It cannot be played. This has deliberately been launched in the games section of Steam instead of the software section. This is a common mistake for developers who are new to Steam or don't understand the difference between games and software which isn't a game. But in this case, it was done deliberately to cause harm on the Steam platform and to gamers. Here's a link for the process to publish non-game software on Steam. Link. There are no gameplay loops in the rejected art school dropout exhibition. No gameplay, no meaningful game-like interaction. As such, this has no merit as a video game for gamers, and so I cannot recommend this non-game as a game to gamers. Note, joke reviews. Because this is more of a joke game, intended to draw attention from controversy, or in the hopes of going viral because it's so bad it's good, but it isn't good at all, there's nothing here to offer serious gamers. As usual, with most awful/joke games, all the comedians come out of the woodwork. The vast majority of the reviews for this game are joke reviews, mocking the game for just how bad it is. The comedians give us the usual, this game cured my cancer, saved my marriage, changed my life story. Sarcastic, but not useful if you want to know if the game is worth it. Because most of the reviews are as insincere as the game itself is, the positive review score for this game should be disregarded. Not recommended.
Free your mind. What a stick in the mud.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. If you want to go search for a hill to die on, I guess you found one. But you're screaming into the void, quite literally.
Yeah, it's... I feel like in the art, the act of buying the review, putting it on the screen long enough to write the review, writing the review. If you didn't play the game by that point, the game played you.
Oof.
You know, you're a part of this whole thought experiment. And whether you can define it as an art show or a game, I think, you know, the lines are already blurring. The lines are beyond blurred. And that's the fun part.
Here's a review from A. Kyler. They write 10 out of 10, pretty black indeed. And we'll end it there.
It delivers what you want. You know, it's delivering on the product promise. Oh, and I also want to quickly say, he said, this is why indie devs get a bad rap. Indie devs don't have a bad rap. That's a weird thing to say. You're projecting. Okay. Thanks for the steaming pile.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to break the wonderful theme the episode has going.
That's okay.
Maybe I'm not, because this product is black in color, mostly. It has some red highlights. From Amazon, this is the Tony Hawk 31-inch skateboard, Signature Series 1 skateboard with Pro Trucks full grip tape. It's a skateboard. It says Tony Hawk on it. It has a hawk. It's going, rah! It's got glowy eyes. It's got full grip tape. Biller titles their review, It's What You'd Expect. So, I'm a relatively new skateboarder, but even with that said, I could tell that it wasn't a very nice board. Now, here are the negatives. 1, the trucks are plastic, but they do feel strong under your feet, although they won't last as long as metal trucks. 2, the board is an 8-ply maple deck, which from my research is pretty standard for cheaper boards. That being said, it feels very weak to me. 3, probably the worst part, is the board doesn't roll. I mean, I'm not a great skater, but I've gotten this skateboard to roll, and seeing that as a cheap board that is being sold to people who want to start skating, but they don't have a huge budget. Sadly, this board doesn't roll at this price. But with those negatives I'd addressed, I'd also like to say that the positives are this. It's $25, and I got mine for $18. So what can you expect, especially with a skateboard, since a good skateboard will cost you over $100. 2, the graphics are pretty cool, but they are just stickers, so mine already got rips in it over a couple weeks of use. 3, the shape feels really good to me, but the board size is a preference thing. Overall, I'd rate it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I'm still using it. I'm just changing the hardware, like the truck's wheels and bearings. So if you get this board, you can easily change the bearings or out to ABEC 7 or ABEC 9 bearings, and it will roll a lot better. 3 stars.
Doesn't roll.
It doesn't roll. Don't put butter on this thing, because it does not roll.
I feel like that's kind of an integral feature and function of a skateboard, of anything with wheels.
how much is it? Is roll sort of a slang, a skater jargon,
a colloquialism?
Right,
that's what I'm wondering.
Right,
like they talk about caves and like, oh, this one goes. Like the cave goes. Oh, yeah, it's a long cave.
That board's got some nice roll to it. Is different than this, you know. I think Biller is just speaking.
He's speaking the lingo.
Yeah, flexing his lingo knowledge here.
Like, just loosen your bearings or whatever a bit. It sounds like it's tight.
Sounds like you went and got yourself some new bearings already. So you solved your problem you're complaining about. And it says right here, ABEC 5 bearings. So, you know, maybe those aren't very rolly. Maybe those are a little more safety rated, so you're not rolling into oncoming traffic against your will as a new boarder.
Yeah, there goes your $25 board. And you.
Now that we're talking about it, sort of learning through context, longboards have a lot of roll to them, don't they?
They got so much roll.
They are rolling what? Keep rolling, come on, type roll.
And I don't know if you're quite part of the scene yet, my guy, but your graphics get ripped up on the bottom of your board. Guess what? That's what stickers are for. I don't care if it was stickers in the first place. Like, if you got art on the bottom of your board, it's probably going to get thrashed and trashed. So you smack some stickers on there. You're a skater. You're supposed to have stickers everywhere. You smack it on a stop sign. You smack it on a bystander. Smack it on your board.
I think there's like Tony Hawk 3. It was like, hey, the graphics on our boards get messed up now, just like real life.
Ooh.
But you got some titanium. No, it's going to get messed up, man. You're sliding and grinding. You're grinding and grooving.
I hope so.
That's what I see. Have you seen those like Pokemon card pull skate decks?
No.
They're like little skateboards in the sleeve. That's just the deck. And they're in like a sleeve. And you pull them and get a random Pokemon, and then the background changes upon rarity as well. So there's like gold foil ones.
Okay. And
I'm just like, you're really buying a skateboard art that's rare? It's just gonna get busted. I guess you can display decks, but I don't know. It's like displaying a car. It's cooler if it's going.
It's cooler if it rolls.
Right. Exactly. You put the bearings on there and everything. You're scared of the sticker?
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, I think this is the classic case of someone trying to be a hobbyist buying a beginner's product and just not
recognizing
expecting more out of it than it's offering.
Yeah. Silly.
Listen, Tony Hawk's got this cool. There's another very cooler one that he should have bought where it's a hawk and someone turned a paint can upside down on it and it's covered in green.
Ooh. That's cool.
Yeah. He had to buy the black and red one. I want the black and red one, and I don't want the sticker to go away so everyone knows how black and red I am. Do you have a review?
Yeah, I've got a Google review for the movie Pitch Black. This is where it all came from.
Oh.
Talk about Riddick. This comes from Lise. Lise writes, I have no idea why I love this movie. I cannot think of one redeeming quality for this, unless you like looking at Vin Diesel. I do like the premise, though. I'm not a big sci-fi fan, but the creatures were original. I enjoyed them immensely. Don't get stuck on the technicals, such as dialogue, acting, scenery, etc. I could write a 10-page compare-contrast essay on those. That being said, this film is extremely entertaining. I've watched it countless times. I choose Pitch Black when I can't decide what I want to watch. 3 stars.
They got a little comfort movie, and they feel shame about it. I'm sad for them. I hope they can bump that to a 4 out of 5 someday.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Which is with their hearts.
If that's what you watch when you don't know what you want to watch, That's not just a 3.
No, they don't. They don't want to besmirch, the review system, but no, that's exactly what it's for. You, in your heart of hearts, think it's at least a 4, probably more.
It's your opinion.
As funny as Vin Diesel looks in big goggles, it's still a 4 out of 5.
You want a hateable review?
Sure.
Okay, this one comes from Josh Araujo. Josh writes, "My God, this movie would be a million times better without this bitch Rada Mitchell, constantly acting disgruntled and belligerent to cover up her own miserable fear and insecurity. This is probably the beginning of the DEI woke mind virus that ruined the entertainment industry. This bee should not have survived the initial crash. And LOL, could you imagine the gall of thinking that the kid being revealed as a boy would be a plot twist? Are you joking? It was obvious she was female from the beginning. Can't help but feel like this is an early LGBT transgender propaganda bit. 3 stars, surprisingly, for that."
I got big news for you about sci-fi, brother. It's always been woke mind virus. Fucking what do they call it when the DEI? That's the new dumb, calling stuff DEI.
Yeah. I'm surprised you included woke in there because that's a little old news.
Right. No, woke can be cool again. Bring me back to when saying someone was woke, that meant it was awesome. So that's what sci-fi nerds have been doing for freaking years before you came and started whining about it, brother. Read some fucking Leo Tolstoy, and that's not him, not fucking Leo Tolstoy. He's writing a bunch of bullshit. Isaac Asimov, man.
There we go.
There we go. It's easy to get those silly Russian guys mixed up. They're all just so silly and fun.
Yeah, the positive guys.
I can't help talk about these movies without thinking about that sweet game that Vin Diesel made about these movies.
Yes.
I can never hate these movies because Vin Diesel made a sweet game about Richard B. Riddick.
It still surprises me that that's his name.
His name is Dick B. Riddick, and he wears fucking cool goggles, brother. He talks like this.
As if you needed to know, Josh's reviews here are mostly 1 stars, mostly say the same thing. The only movie he seems to have enjoyed is the police drama End of Watch.
Oh my God.
And we can imagine why.
Dude. I hate that these people get to vote.
Yep.
You shouldn't be allowed to vote unless you like good movies. That's my new. and you can like bad movies, but you have to like them in a cool way.
Yeah.
In that you're being honest with yourself and the world around you, and allowing some whimsy in your life. If you're liking a bad movie in a whimsical way, I love you for it.
What in God's name? Here's a review he wrote. Wokeness is a disease that infects and ruins everything. It's for Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie.
Oh, dude. He's lost.
Oh, God.
Imagine watching fucking the Sandy Cheeks movie and being mad. Being mad. Like, you can be bored. You can be totally indifferent. You can be like, damn, why does the kid I babysit want to watch only this fucking movie?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't be pissed off, brother. It's fucking SpongeBob. And
that's
no, I got nothing to say. This show's over.
Yeah.
We gotta turn this woke mind virus show off. People watching listen to our podcast like 2 white guys. Thank God this isn't DEI.
Yeah, you're welcome.
My goodness, what a world we live in. Thank you for listening to reviewparty.com. Hope you're staying safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for finding time to listen. We got new episodes every Tuesday. That's right. Hashtag Tuesday Reviews Day. We'd like you to know. If you listen to this one, you might like some of those. And if you'd like to send in a review, me and Matt, we did it all ourselves this week, but a lot of the time we got lovely reviews from lovely listeners just like you. If you find a funny one, we'd love to see it, or a weird one, or a dumb one that makes you mad. You know, anyone that elicits a reaction, we'd love to see it. Email that review over. A hyperlink is great. A screenshot is great. Send it to reviewparty.com@gmail.com and include your name so we can give you credit for it.
If you want to reach out to us on social media, do it at reviewparty.com on Instagram and TikTok, at reviewpartypod on Twitter/X. We have content on YouTube and Letterboxd. Just search Review Party. I'm sure you will find us and enjoy us. And if you want to go to our website, reviewparty.com, you can find blog, shop, newsletter site up, the hidden goodies, the magic omelet. I wish. I'll get working on that. But it's a good place to be. And you can find links to our buddy band, The Boys, that Brent's going to talk about now.
Nosebleeds. Their band. You heard their song throughout the episode. Bread for Breakfast is the name of that song. Nosebleeds is the name of that band. You can find them on Spotify. Nosebleeds When Worn, if you want to hear some more cool jams by them. If you want to support us in any type of way, follow, subscribe, favorite, like, whatever the button is on whatever website you listen. You simply have to hit it, and that will help us out a ton. I have a finisher. This one also, like all the other reviews this week, will unlock a darkness in your heart. Amazon review for Jimmy Dean, egg, pancake, and sausage sandwich, 4.9 ounce, 12 per case. This is specifically the little gas station white paper variant. This is not the regular at-home in a plastic wrap type. Comes in a nondescript sort of brown box with the sausage and maple egg pancake big barcode label on the side. So this is legit fucking gas station slop. Joe Gonzalez titles their review, "Excellent way to start the day, ... exclamation point.
Oh.
Absolutely delicious. Would buy more often, but a little pricey. Easy to make, goes real nice with my cup of Joe. Jimmy Dean, thank you. 5 stars."
I love being on a personal basis with Jimmy, too.
Me and Jimmy and his sausages go way back, brother.